Paper time, with a selection of fronts that have swept in from Europe. And let's start off this week with Fulham, a side who are admittedly bottom of the Premier League, but whose cast-offs are currently conquering the continent. There is Philippe Senderos, now at Valencia and debuting this weekend with a clean sheet. Boom! Adel Taarabt, who on Saturday scored the fastest debut goal by a foreigner for Milan since George Weah. Posh! And Dimitar Berbatov, of course, who on Wednesday came on and produced an unacademic back heel, as L'Equipe described it, to get Monaco through in their cup derby with Nice. Golly. Send Kieran Richardson to PSG and that'll be the Champions League sorted. Well, we're very excited about all of these, but particularly Dimitar Berbatov. In many ways, Monte Carlo the perfect city for him, of course, because as any Fulham fan can tell you, he'd been playing craps all season. But with Wednesday night's extra time goal, the Bulgarian not only sealed Monaco's place in the quarter-finals of the French Cup, but also, according to L'Equipe, his own integration into the Moneybags Monaco side. As for Adel Taarabt, well, he, says the Gazzetta, was the only good thing about Milan's defeat last Saturday away to Napoli. Adel Taarabt taking just 7 minutes and 1 second to score his debut goal. Suggests the paper, perhaps the rebel Taarabt got left behind in England. Adds the sub-editor, he's more of a hit man than a bad boy. Adel agrees underneath. He says, I'm not a bad boy. I'm just very frank, and I'm delighted to be getting my revenge on the English papers after all their sarcasm. Yeah, after one good game, it's definitely time to put that inconsistent tag to bed. There is one dissenting voice, though, in the Italian press, grumpy old Roberto Beccantini, who in his editorial says the symbol of Roma is Gervinho, Milan have Essien and Kaká. We're so piled up with rubbish in Serie A, anything shiny looks like gold. It's Ritonismo, says Roberto, and we're mad for it. And don't talk to me about Taarabt, he continues. I imagine Napoli's legends of the past spinning in their graves to see the way their current players ran up their own bums to give him space. My word. Well, it'll be interesting to see what Beccantini makes of the latest form of glory to be heading Italy's way, and that's Nemanja Vidic. Yeah, according to the Gazzetta, again, he's all but signed for the Nerazzurri. Inter, the first use there of Veni Vidic, you can see in a Italian headline, but I'm guessing it won't be the last if that deal goes through. It'll be interesting to see anyway how he makes out, if indeed he does go. But let's now have a cake shot and then head on to the Bundesliga. Yes, and a story of rotten hamburgers with maggots. They are HSV Hamburg, once mighty European champions, now a mighty example of what happens when German clubs go wrong. He is Felix Magath, poised to ride to their rescue. Now, under their current manager, Bert van Marwijk, who's set to lose his hamburger role, the club are currently heading for the first relegation of their long and glorious history. Last Saturday saw them record their 6th straight defeat, sparking angry scenes outside their ground as 300 or so fans arrived, started attacking players' cars and a van as well. That's Captain Rafael van der Vaart, who was chased off with a hail of eggs, lighters and apples. We were frightened of our own supporters, said a shocked Rafael. Well, chastened, the team then turned in a battling performance in the Cup midweek, losing 5-0 at home to Bayern Munich. So now, according to the Hamburger Morgenpost, the Mopo as it's known, Magath's arrival is almost inevitable. 7 of the board want him, 4 are desperate to avoid him, but they are fighting a losing battle because Hamburg have another big problem right now. Despite being rated Europe's 18th most valuable club, they are colossally in debt. And the man who's poised to come in and buy out some of their fan shares to shore up their debts is making Magath his condition of entry, or at least that's what it says here in Builder. Billionaire puts pressure on HSV. Well, amidst all this, what does the general manager do but go and get done for drunk driving on his way back from one of their crisis meetings? Caught red-handed over the limit. As the Morgenpost puts it, when your luck's down, it's down. Still, at least somebody at the club is picking up points. Well, big game coming up this weekend for Hamburg against their fellow relegation strugglers Eintracht Braunschweig, which we probably won't have time to tell you about next week, particularly because I'm not going to be here. I will be back, though, in a fortnight's time, so hopefully I'll see you then.